I agree with what you're saying, right? Because I think he's a bit trapped, King Charles, because he can't. Well, it's time for him to not invite him, but at the same time, how bleak is that? I would like to have my son at my coronation, but only if he signs this cast-iron, watertight NDA. I mean, it's not exactly great father-son relations. Jenny, regardless of whether or not Harry should be invited to the coronation, should he, as a matter of respect, just swerve it?
I think that I think he should do what he wants to do. I think he still has a great love for his father. I know they're terribly estranged at the moment, but I think if his father extends that hand and says, "Harry, I would like you," or "Darling boy," as he calls him, I would like you to be there, then perhaps he and Meghan should come, keep a low profile. The other members of the royal family will have to zip it, probably, because you're right, trust is gone, so they'd have to be careful. But I think that if an invitation isn't sent out to them, there's a great danger that the palace would be feeding the hand that keeps biting them. You know, it's more grist to their mill, isn't it?
Well, just on that, Jenny, just on that, sorry, I'll stick with you, Jenny, on this before I return to Sam, but do you not think, at the end of the day, the coronation, yes, it's a national event, but it's also a family event, OK? It's also, you could argue a little bit like a wedding or that kind of family-type event. And any family, I think, in the country right now who's just had a prominent member of that family absolutely slate you all in the most public of settings, I think most people would think, actually, fair enough for not inviting him, Jenny.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think he will be invited. They will be invited. I think the palace have got this strategy of taking the higher ground, the more dignified ground. We saw it today with William and Catherine out there being questioned, being fired at them. You know, are you hurt by what your brother has said? And he's ignoring it. It's the best strategy. And I think that's the way it will continue. And I think you are right that the coronation is probably the most important day in his father's life. And your son should be there, and I hope he will be. As Harry himself has said, there's a good deal of time between now and the coronation.
There is a good deal of time between now and the coronation. Sam, do you think if Harry does turn up to the coronation, people will boo him and throw rotting tomatoes at him?
In the grand scheme of things, I wouldn't call 4 months a good deal of time at all.
No, it's not.
I think this is supposed to be an incredible day. It's a great day for the country. It's an amazing day for Charles, as you said. You know, I think, you know, if they all feel like they have to be tight-lipped, if Eugenie and Beatrice feel that they can't, you know, make a mistake or say something about Andrew that they wish they hadn't said, all feeling nervous, I think that would ruin the day for them. But at the same time, I agree with Jenny. Like he should be there. I hope he is there. And also, one thing I will say as well is that he's actually speaks very warmly about his father in the book. It's not just all the pull quotes that everybody has seen. It is you know, he does love his father very much indeed. So I think, but however, I know you just said about the booing. I don't know. I think if those two jump out the car and things are as they are now, you might well get boos from the British public. That's not what they want on the coronation at all.
No, this is the other thing, isn't it? I just wonder, Jenny, whether or not the sensible thing for Harry to do, which is a bit of a misconception for me to say, because he doesn't seem to do a lot of sensible things, would be for the good of his own family to stay away. Is he that desperate to be involved? I don't know. But instead of focusing too much on Harry in this sense, Jenny, surely Meghan can make an excuse not to come.
Well, they have a perfect excuse. It is the birthday of Archie. It's his 4th birthday, and, you know, maybe they've got planned a party over there. So they do have a legitimate excuse. But I do think the public and the press should actually stop being so outrightly rude about Harry, and I don't think that things should be thrown at them if they came, or there should be any boos. I've been spent the last 2 days, or the last week immersed in this, but the last 2 days listening to Harry tell his story, read his book, 12 hours of it so far, there's another 3 to go. And what I'm getting for the full context of the book is we are dealing here with a very severely damaged man, psychologically damaged, who is fragile still, extremely fragile, and needs to be protected.